Okay, so we are back. Hello, everybody. Again, good afternoon. So we are in our next session, which is array methods. As already mentioned, that we have covered string methods in our previous session. So this is lesson number 46, and we are understanding array methods here. Okay, so just let me check if I'm live. Okay, perfect. Everything is fine. Let's get started. Now, this is one of the session where we are understanding array methods. We already understood arrays, right? We have already seen how arrays work. How do we write arrays in our JavaScript code? For loop, for each, everything we have seen. It's just that the methods we are left with, right? So that's why this extra session is there, so that we understand how array methods work. Okay, and all the methods we'll see here one by one. So let's get started. Now, if you do not know, if you are new here and if you do not know what is going on, then let me tell you what's going on here. This is basically a playlist which we are creating from CodeBeyond channel by Unacademy. So we are creating this front-end playlist where we are covering all the basic languages and everything else, so that you will understand how you can become a front-end developer by knowing which all languages, by knowing which all frameworks, and you can study it from here itself, from these sessions. So this playlist is now having 45 videos, and this is the 46th lesson which we are doing. It will be having more videos as well. Some advanced concepts also will take, so don't worry about that. Now, if you do not know about me, then let me tell you about myself. My name is Ritwik Raj and I'm a corporate trainer. I've also worked as a research analyst and a subject matter expert in most of the tech companies. I have 3+ years of teaching experience and I've trained graduates and corporate employees from ACET and Capgemini. I've trained more than 30K students till now, and it's increasing day by day. The subjects which I take is mostly into front-end development, back-end languages, database languages, mostly into full-stack development domain. And I also do take tips and tricks and, guide how to crack interviews, either it's virtual or it's face-to-face. Now I have a very good news for you here, that you can use my code, which is RIT10, to get a free Relevel sample test paper. And if you do not know what is Relevel, then just wait for 1 minute. I'll tell you about that. But if you know about Relevel, then you must be very happy about hearing this, because you know that there's an actual test which will be happening for Relevel for you. And if you want to prepare it for that test, then you can see this sample test paper. You get an idea what kind of questions will be asked. So it will be really easy for you, right? So please do not forget to use this coupon code to get the free level and sample test paper. Now the people who are new here and who do not know what is a level, then let me tell you about it. So basically what happens is, many a times freshers and other students in second year, in third year of engineering or any other stream, let's say BCom or BSc or BCA student, right? They want to jump to IT sector. They have applied to 50-60 companies, but they're not getting any call back, right? And being an engineer also, you have applied, but you're not getting a call back. The reason can be anything. The reason can be your college, maybe you're studying in a tier 3 college, maybe your degree, maybe your marks. It can be anything, right? So here comes Relevel. What is Relevel? Basically, it is India's first test hiring platform by Unacademy, which is helping job seekers find their dream job only by a basis of skills and talent. So if you have the skill and you have the talent, if you have the knowledge, then nobody can stop you. What will happen here and what are the benefits? Let me tell you about this. So first of all, you have to give a free test. How you're going to register for that test, I'll tell you right away, but just understand what is it. So you have to give a free test. Again, I'm repeating, it's a free test which you can give on your choice of day, and this test will be of 1000 marks. It's gonna be a huge one, but if you score more than 700, you're going to pass it, and we'll create a profile for you and we'll pass it to different client companies so that they can interview you and you can get hired. Over 50+ companies, including top startups and unicorns like Upgrad, is connected with us. So there's a lot of chance that you can get hired, right? And if you are scoring below 700, then yes, of course you're failing, but after 30 days, you can reattempt the test. So that's really cool, right? 1000+ job positions across business development, backend development, and frontend development is there. So you won't be having any problem working in these domains, right? Because these all domains are very popular. Now let's understand how do you sign up in this. So if you look at the description, you can find the Relevel link. You have to click on it. Once you click on it, it will take you to the it will take you to the website relevel.com, and you have to click on sign up there. You have to put up your phone number and then click on get code. Once you get the OTP, after that you will get this particular profile, which is to select which test you want to give. So if you have a skill on business development, select that. If you have a skill on front-end development, select that. And once you do that, then you'll be able to book a slot when you want to give the level test. Slots are limited, so I suggest you to book it fast. Okay, after that, what you can do is you can fill in the details like full name, email ID, birth year, current state, and gender, and you can then put the coupon code here. Once you put the coupon code RIT10 here, you can click on apply and then click on create account. This account will get opened and you can download the sample paper from here. So from using this sample paper, you can get an idea what kind of questions will be asked in the actual test, so that it will become really very easy for you. Okay, so that was all about Relevel, and that's what all about registering in it. So if you have not done it, then please do not wait, because the slots are limited, as I told. So please go ahead and do it. If suppose you have already done it, then all the best for the exam. And if you're not willing to do it, let's say your skills are not matching with the exam, and maybe you are afraid that if I don't have the skills, how I'm gonna score. So do one thing, go ahead with the playlist, whichever is going on in CodeBeyond. Watch those playlists, watch what all other educators are teaching, and backend development, DSS, CP, Python, SQL, all of these things are going on. So go ahead and watch those sessions so that you get an idea and get upskilled, right? After that, you can register for Relevel, correct? Also, please join the Telegram channel. The link is given in the description below. What happens when you join this channel? You'll be getting notifications on when I'm coming live, when other trainers are coming live, and what is happening. Also, the code files will be shared here from our educators. The next thing is, please hit the subscribe button to our YouTube channel, which is CodeBeyond, and also hit the notification bell so that you get an update and notifications in your YouTube app as well. And if you're liking the session, if any particular session you are liking of mine, then please do like it and share it with your friends and relatives and classmates. Okay, so let's get started with today's video, which is array methods, and let's understand what are the different methods in our array. If you guys are watching right now, then I need one particular message in the live chat so that I can understand you guys are watching, right? All my students who are following me from the starting, I need you guys here so that you can give me a thumbs up or just say afternoon. Anything will work, right? So soon we are going to start our code. So as you can see, I've already come up to this particular part where I just opened the string methods, right? Hello, Rohit. Perfect. So let's get started now. I think at last, like when my string method session got ended, Lewis was asking some questions and I did not, I think I missed it, right? So if Lewis, you are already there, then I have a solution for your question. I think your question was that if sample is an array, right? If others are not understanding, don't worry. You just go ahead and watch the string methods session. You will understand what is this. This session I just took, right? So Lewis was asking why there's no square brackets when sample is written, right? Because sample is an array, as you can see, I'm fetching it, right? So let me tell you, Lewis, because in JavaScript, when we write an array, right, we do not mention the square brackets in our variable, okay? It's not a programming language. How do we do it, okay? It's not like C and C++ and Java. How do we do it? So in JavaScript, we do not mention the square brackets in the sample itself, okay, or in the variable itself, okay? So that's not how we write array. If you have not seen my array video, then please go ahead and watch it. You'll understand how do we mention array. So normally, how do we write an array? Let me show you. So if you can look here, you can see here, this is how we write an array. These are the two ways how we can write an array. How do we create an object of array? So have we written here any square bracket? No, right? In the values, we do write it. Okay. So this is the way how do we write arrays in our HTML or JavaScript. And that's why I've not written it here, because this method split is splitting my sentence into two parts. So both the parts are getting stored into an array automatically. Why? Because there are two values. So JavaScript knows that if there are two values, then it's gonna get stored in an array variable, not in a normal variable, because in normal variable only one value can be stored, but in an array multiple values can be stored. So this automatically becomes an array, and then we are fetching it as an array. Okay, so that's what is the explanation of your question. I hope I have covered it. Let's move ahead and let's create another file where I'm going to teach array methods. Just going to write here understanding array methods in JavaScript. Okay, and let's get started. But before that, let me close this and let me close these all things. I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this. I'm going to open my, I hope you can see my browser, and just I'm going to open it with live server. Cool. So this is what is my page for array methods. This is where we will see all the outputs of that. Okay. So cool. Let's get started with our code. So here, the very first methods which we are going to see is, please just give me 1 second. I'll just open my live chat in mobile also, so that I can see the chats here as well. Okay, cool. Perfect. So now the methods which we have here, first of all, is toString. Now toString, you guys already know what is it. I have explained you a number of times what is toStrings. To change the number into a string and to change the arrays into a string, we use toString. So again, I'm not going to do that, right? But here, the next thing what I'm going to show you is, let's say I'm creating an array. So let's say I'm creating an array of names. Okay, let names equal to, here I'm going to give some names. So let's say I'm giving here Ritwik, Soham, Aryan, and one more. Let's say I'm putting here it as Rohit. Okay, here this is not a JavaScript, so let me put it. Okay, so this is done. Now what I'm going to do here is, the names array is created, correct? So now here what I'm going to do, I'm going to first of all write the simple thing, which is document dot get element by id demo. Okay, and dot inner HTML. Here I'm going to use names, and then I'm going to use the very first method, which is join. Okay, so understand what is join. Here what I'm going to do, I'm going to put up a symbol. Let's say I'm putting here up a symbol as plus, right? Now understand what's going to happen. So we know that names is an array, and we know that it is having a lot of values, maybe 100 values it can also have, right? We have written only 4, and then we are joining that particular names, all the values, with the plus symbol. So what's going to happen? If I go back to my browser, you can see what's happening. All the values are getting added. That means not only added, but it is actually inserting that symbol in between all the values, right? That's what is happening. Also understand, it's not that it is adding the plus symbol just after the value. It is not adding the symbol just after the value, it is joining it. Okay, so if I'm saying that the plus sign is after Ritwik, that's a wrong sentence. That's a wrong framing of sentence which I'm saying. It is not adding a plus sign after Ritwik. If that is the case, then after Rohit also there should be a plus sign, right? But it's not doing that. So joining, in the sense, it will join all these values with that symbol, with that sign. Okay, good afternoon, Chirag. Fine. So with that sign, it's gonna add it. Let's see if I'm writing here another symbol. So again, it's gonna do the same thing. It's gonna add all the values with that symbol. Okay. So don't think that the symbol will also come after Rohit. No, it's not gonna come there. That's why the name of the function is join. Cool. This was the very first function. ToString is also the same thing, is just changes your things into a string, right? Now let's move to our other method, which is a most popular method, which is a pop, right? Now I think one of the array sessions itself, somebody asked me how to use push and pop. So that's what I'm explaining here right now, because I think in that session 1 hour was completed and I could not explain it to you, right? So let's see here how we can do this. So here I'm going to put the same code. Uh, before that, I need to also see, I can't just print it up, right? I need to first pop, I need to first delete, then only I can do it. So what I'll do here is I'll write names dot pop, and I won't be using any particular number here. Oh, 1 second. I won't be using any particular digits or any particular index value. I'm not giving, I'm just writing pop here, right? So let's first see what pop does. And here I'm just going to write names. Let's go back to my browser. Let's save this. It says Ritwik, Soham, Aryan. Rohit is not coming here, right? So pop is removing the last element. Understand, always pop will remove the last element. Okay. Now, when I'm saying that pop is removing the last element, and suppose if you want to check that which element is that, then what you can do is you can do something like this. Let y equal to names dot pop. Okay. And here, let's say I want to print y, that which is that element which is getting popped, right? So if I go here, if I save this, it's Rohit which is getting popped, because I'm printing y, so it is printing that particular value which is popped out, right? And that's Rohit, correct? Now let's come back. So now that we have understood what is pop, I'll also tell you how to delete the items from any particular index. I'll tell you that, but let's first understand what is push and pop. So let's understand push now. So for push, what I'll do, I'll comment this, and here I'm going to write names dot push. Let's say I'm keeping another new array, new value. Let's say I'm putting here it as Mohan, right? So this is the push. Now I don't know where it will get added, because I've not specified the value where it should get added, right? So what I'm going to do here is, let's say I'm just printing the names. Let's go back to my browser. So it's Ritwik, Soham, Aryan, Rohit, and at last it is adding Mohan, right? So pop will remove the last element, push will add the element at the last position. Okay, the same thing we'll do it here itself. We'll also see how is this getting added, right? So what we are going to do here is, we are going to put here let y equal to names dot push, and let's say here I'm going to print y. So if you look at this, it says fifth position. Why fifth? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is the index, but fifth is the position. So y is not telling me the index, y is telling me the position. Understand the difference between index and position. Position means 1, 2, 3, 4, and fifth is Mohan. That's position. Index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is the index value of Mohan. Okay, cool. Now, next what we are going to see is, we are going to shift some items from somewhere to somewhere different. Okay, so let's say I'm going to comment this, and I'm going to also remove it. Here I'm going to just use names dot shift. I don't know which particular item will get shifted, but I'm just writing shift, right? And let's hit here names. So remember that I don't have Mohan right now. I have only 4 values: Ritwik, Soham, Aryan, and Rohit. Okay, I've written shift. Let's see what this particular shift will do. Shift method basically removes the first element of an array, okay, and shifts all other elements to the left. So if I show you my browser, okay, first element was Ritwik, which is removed, and now Soham is in 0th index and Aryan is in first index. Okay, what will happen if I write here again names dot shift? Let's save this. Let's go back. So Ritwik is also gone because of the first shift method which I used, and now Soham is also gone because I've used the second method again, shift. So all the other rest out elements are shifted, and Aryan becomes 0 in index and Rohit becomes 1 index. Okay, but understand that these are temporary methods, so it is not making my arrays permanently changed. Okay, these are temporary, just for this example. Okay, so that is what is shift. Now which particular value has been got shift, that also you can check. Let y equal to or let z equal to, you can do, and you can print z. It will tell you. What if I'm putting here let x equal to, and here I'm putting let y equal to. Okay, here I am putting x plus y. What do you think what's gonna happen here? I'm gonna save this. I'm going back to my browser. So it says Ritwik and Soham. The first one, the x value, which particular element is shifted, is Ritwik. The second is y, which is Soham. So it's printing that. Why it is printing together? Because I told them to print it like that. Right? So let me comment this now and let's move ahead. So next what we are going to do is we are going to understand unshift. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let's say I'm putting here these two and I'm again writing here unshift. Okay, so let's say I'm putting here it as names dot unshift, and I want to unshift Ritwik. Okay, and here I don't want to print x or y, but I do want to print names. So if I go back, you can see what's happening. Because I unshifted Ritwik, so Ritwik is back. Soham is not unshifted. So Soham is still in the shifted position. It's out of my array right now. And only Ritwik, Aryan, Rohit is showing me. You'll be thinking, where should I use these things? Because these things are just telling me that this method is doing that, this method is doing that. Where we'll be using this? In our projects, we'll be using this. Okay, in internal projects also, and in external projects, like something like where company uses, you will be using these methods. So don't worry. There are a lot of games which uses this kind of functions, unshift, shift, and all those pop, push, everything. So these methods are designed so that it can be used. So don't worry about that, where in practical use it will be used. It will be used. That's why these methods are there, right? So suppose if I want to write here let z equal to, and I want to see what is z. So this is gonna give me the position number. Okay, so if I save this, if I go back to my, so you can see this is the position number. This is the position number which is 3. Okay, because it shifted, so the position number has become 3. Fine, let's come back. Now let's understand what is another thing. Now we have seen pop and push, right? So we have deleted some item, we have included some item. Now let's suppose that I want to change the elements, right? So how we can do that? Let me comment this. And here we are going to write our code. Okay, so now what we can do here is one second, we already have the names with us. So document.get element by id. I'm going to write here names 1 equal to, do not keep in your mind pop, push, and shift, unshift, those all are deleted. Okay, so we have the values Ritwik, Soham, Aryan, and Rohit in our names. Now in the names one, I want to put something else. So let's say I want to put here CodeBeyond, right? And I want to print names. You know what will happen, because I think this I have already explained you in my previous sessions. So if I do this, you can see here at one position, that means 0, 1, it's changing. So Soham value is now deleted, right? So that's what is the example of uh, changing elements. Okay, now if you find the length also, you can find the length right now. So let's say what I'll do here is I'm going to write a code here. Let's use functions also. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to print document.getId names so that all the 4 values are printed. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a function. Okay. This is the function which I've created. The name of the function is try it. And here I'm going to write names. Inside this, I'm going to give the names length. That means it's 4, right? The length of the names is 4. And to this, I'm going to include some other names. So let's say I'm putting here Amit. Okay. So I have kept this much. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to print it. So let's say document dot get element by id. I'm going to use the demo itself. I'm going to put here inner HTML. And then I'm going to print names. Fine. Understand that this printing is happening inside the function, right? So you need to make sure that you know about it. Here, what I'm going to do, before this paragraph, I'm going to give a button. Okay. This button, I'm going to give on click. In this on click, I'm giving the function name so that the function call should happen whenever you click that button. And I'm going to write here the button name as click here. Okay, so let's see what is happening in my browser. So if I go back, I hope this will run. So this is my particular code which is happening. So first of all, there's a button, and then there's an array which is saying Ritwik, Soham, RN, Rohit. If I click this, it is adding Amit also. Understand how this is working. So basically what is happening, first of all, I'm printing the name just as it is. After that, I am clicking on the button, and once I click on the button, this function gets executed. In this function, what is happening? Names 4, right? So what is the length? 4, right? Now understand that if 0 is Ritwik, 1 is Soham, RN is 2, and Rohit is 3. So 4 will be the new item. That's why names 4 equal to Amit. So in the 4th index, Amit is getting added. That's why I've written names.length. You can also write 4 here. It will work. And then it's going to print all the updated names value. So it's showing me Amit also. What if I am not writing names.length, and what if I'm writing here 4? Then what's gonna happen? So let's save this. Let's go back. Let's click here. It is adding. So it's working the same manner. What if I'm writing here 5 and I'm just doing it? So let's see what happens. If I go back, click here, it is still adding Amit. But can you notice this thing? There are 2 commas here. That means the 4th index is not there. The 4th index value is not there. It's a null value, right? So when it is a null value, it is taking the space and informing us that Amit is a 5th index. 4th index, there's nothing. Okay, so that's how this is done. Okay, now deleting the elements. So uh, let me remove this much, and here I'm just going to write one delete. So let's say delete. Here what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the names, and I'm going to just say delete 2. Okay, so you have here 0, which is Ritwik, and then 1, which is Soham, and then the second one, which is deleted. So it's not showing me, and then the third one is Rohit. Okay, so that's how it is. Click here will not work because I've commented the function. Coming back to the code, I'm going to comment this because we don't need this right now. When we will need it, we will uncomment this. Okay, so delete is also done. So let's comment this. Okay, next, let's understand what is splice. Okay, so here in splice, we are going to understand how splice works and what is it doing here. So let's say I am writing here names dot JS के array में stack की methods होती हैं, कुछ methods होती हैं stack की. Okay, not all. Do not compare that DSA and this. Okay, but some methods are there. वो वैसे ही काम करता है जैसे DSA में करता है या फिर other languages में करता है. But बेहतर यही होगा कि you are considering the fact that you are learning JavaScript. Okay, and do not keep any other method in your mind about other languages. Because in some languages, as I told you in the previous session, replace अगर use कर रहे हैं तो replace में कभी कभी क्या होता है, in other programming languages, in replace first parameter is the new word and the second parameter is the old word. But in some languages, first parameter is the old word and the next parameter is the new word. So you'll get confused. So don't do like that. Okay, even I do get confused sometimes. So we'll use splice here, and splice goes for parameters. So have a look, what are those? First of all, there is a start number and then there is a delete count number, right? First parameter defines the position where new element should be added. Okay, first position is where new element will be added. The second parameter is saying how many elements should be removed. So let's say the first element which I'm writing here is 1. How many items should be removed? Let's say I don't want to remove any element. And then I'm going to write which element I need to add, right? So which elements I want to add here. Let's say I want to add here Amit. Because it's a string, need to do this, need to do this. Let's go back. Understand that the first parameter is what? The first parameter is the position where the new element should get added. That means Amit should get added after Ritwik. I do not want to remove any element, so it's 0. And let's see what is happening. So if I go back, if I save this, Ritwik ke baad Amit aa raha hai. That means in the first position Amit is coming. So Ritwik, Amit, and then Soham, Aryan and Rohit. Correct? Now what we will do is, let's say I want to remove something. So what I'm going to do, I want to remove from here 2 elements. Okay, let's go back, let's save. Soham and Aryan is now deleted. So Amit is in the first index itself, but after that 2 elements are removed. Okay, let's come back to the code, and here what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some more elements here. So let's say if I'm adding here Saurabh and Kiran. Cool. If I do this, will it add those 2 elements also? Yes, it is. Okay. Now the element which I was deleting, what if I don't give anything there? That means I'm keeping it as empty. Okay. Let's see what happens. So here you can see that it is giving me Ritwik, Saurav, Kiran, and then Soham, Aryan, Rohit. Now understand what is happening. Amit is not coming here. Saurav and Kiran is coming. That also before Soham, Aryan and Rohit, right? If you look at the code. Why Amit is not coming? Because splice का second parameter में कोई number होना चाहिए, right? और JavaScript उसको understand नहीं कर पा रहा. JavaScript is not understanding that what is this Amit. I was expecting a number here. You have written a string. I don't know what is this Amit. I know that this third and fourth parameters are the elements. So I'm adding that in my first position. But please make sure that whatever you're writing here is a number. So that's why it is not doing anything. So if I write here 1, that means one particular value should get deleted. So if I now save this, if I go back, Ritwik, Saurav, Kiran, Soham is deleted because I wanted one particular thing to be deleted, so it got deleted. Cool. That's how splicing an array works. Fine. Let's move to the next one. Suppose if I don't want to add anything, right? And I don't want to add anything. So here, position also I won't write because I don't want to add anything. So I'm not writing any position. Now what it will do? So let's understand. Going to the browser, let's save. It says Soham, Aryan and Rohit. That means Ritwik is gone now. What is happening basically is 0th index. I'm pointing to 0th index. So 0th index is Ritwik and I'm saying 1. That means that one element should be deleted. But don't you think this can be done using delete? So it's working the same way, just how delete works. Cool. What if you can do a lot of things here, a lot of experiments you can do, try it in your own time. Try to remove this 0 and try to add one digit here, but do not add an extra element, and let's see what happens there, right? You can do all of those things. Now, next what we are going to do is, let's say I have one more array. Okay, I have one more array and I'm going to put up here some values. Okay, so this is my values for another array, which is games. Okay, here I'm going to comment this. Next, what I'm going to go is, here I'm going to write something. Now understand, this is basically joining, or we can say merging, or we can also say concatenating, right? How do we concatenate 2 or 3 or more arrays together? Okay, so we know that in string we use a method which is concat, right? But let's understand what do we do here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a particular variable here, let's say joined. Okay, and here I'm going to write games dot concat, and to this I'm going to write here names. Understand which array is written first and to whom it is getting concatenated. Okay, because that will be interesting. In most of the interviews questions also this question is asked, that what will be the output of this, mostly to freshers. If I go back, if I save this, you can see here football, basketball, chess, volleyball, Ritwik, Soham, Aryan, Rohit. So games section is coming first and then names is coming, right? You need to understand that, because if I change it, if I make this as n and if I make this as game, what's gonna happen? This is gonna switch. Okay, so it's going to switch. Understand, in array and in string we have the same method for concatenating, which is concat. Now concat method does not change the existing arrays. It will not change any item in your existing array. It will also not print the existing array. It is printing which one? It is printing a new array which is joined. Joined is a new array which I have created here, and that's what it is printing, right? So it's a new array which concat method will print. It will never print a existing array. Okay, fine. So 3 arrays also we can join. How we can add 3 arrays? Let's say I am putting here one more. Fine. This is the third array, and here what you have to do when you're writing concat, you have to just add one more array here. So games, and I'm just going to add days. Right? Let's go back to my browser. Let's save this, and you have the days also now here. Fine. So this is how you can add 3 or more arrays. Also, you can add these all things you can do in your arrays. Now let's understand what is slicing. Understand, we have seen splice, right? Splice is something else. Slicing is something else. Slice method slices out a piece of an array into a new array. If you have a bigger array, let's say this array, the part of this array will be put in a new array. How we can do that? Let's understand. Let me comment this. Let's go back down. And we have, let me remove this so that you can see the whole code. Okay, so we have three arrays, names, games, and days. We'll be using one of the arrays here, and we'll just write up a new variable. Let's say I'm taking here it as new ARR, and here I'm going to write names dot slice. Now this value which you're giving, right? Let's say I'm giving 1 here. Now understand what is this particular one. This one is the index, not the position. So what is one index for me? It's Soham, right? So let's understand what does it do to Soham. Slice, again I have told that it's gonna make a new array, right? So let me go back to my browser. Let me save this. And you can see from Soham, it has created a new array. Ritwik is now in the same array which is names. But now from Soham, Aryan, Rohit, this is a new array which is new ARR. The name of the new array is new ARR. Okay. So slicing method slices out a piece of an array into a new array. Fine. So slice method creates a new array. It does not remove any element from the source array. Fine. Any doubts still here? Let me just take 1 minute of break. Any doubts, please do let me know. Otherwise, let's move ahead. So in this slice, there is one more thing. So I've given here 1. Let's say I'm giving here 3. I hope I have 0, 1, 2, 3. Let's give 2. Let's go back to my browser. Let's save it. So Aryan, Rohit, that's what was expected because Aryan is the second element. What if I write 3 because that's the last element? It's gonna give me Rohit, right? What if I'm giving 2 values here? So coming back to the code, if suppose I'm writing here 1 to 2, okay? Let's see what's happening. If I come back, can you see what it's giving me? It's giving me Soham. So it's same something like string when we use substring, okay? When we divide it. So from 1 to 2 means the starting and the ending, but it is only taking the starting value 1. The ending value will not be taken. It will be taken as n minus 1. So again, let's take one example. So let's say if I'm writing here 3, right? If I go back, can you see what is happening? Soham and Aryan. Third index was Rohit, but it is not getting printed because last thing or last value will not get printed. Okay, just before the last value will get printed. So it is giving me Soham and Aryan, which is my first index and second index. Third index is not coming. Okay, that is what is your slice with 2 values. Fine. Now those things are all done. Let's understand something else. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to comment this. And to this names, I'm going to put here sort. Fine. Now what is this sort? Sort will basically sort out all your values. Whatever values you have written, it's gonna sort it out. So let's understand what is sorting. Is it ascending or is it descending? How is it? Let's save this. And you can see it is ARRS. So it is in ascending. Correct? So that's what is your sort. If suppose you want to reverse something, you want to reverse the array values, then also we have one particular code. We have one method which we can use. So how we can use it? Let's say I'm not doing this here. I'm doing this somewhere here. And I want to again do this. Cool. So first I have sorted it out and then I'm reversing. So what do you think what's going to happen? If I go back, if I save this, it's just opposite. So Rohit, Ritwik, Aryan. So first I've sorted it and then I've reversed it. So now it's in descending order. Okay. What if I'm not sorting it and I'm just reversing it? So it's Rohit, Aryan, Soham, Ritwik. What is happening? It is just reversing my array values, how I have written it actually. So I have written Ritwik, Soham, Aryan, Rohit. It is printing me Rohit, Aryan, Soham, Ritwik. Fine. So you can do two things using reverse. Either you can make it as descending order if you're using sort method, and normally also you can bring it back. Now these things are done. So let's remove this reverse from here and let's give a comma. Let's save this. Now we are going to do, we have understood what is this kind of sorting, right? And we have taken some examples where I have written all string values. So what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to take marks as an array, because array can be homogeneous, heterogeneous. So I can have here values of numbers as well. So let's say that numbers which I'm giving here it as 85, 45, 87, 96, 120. Cool. This is what I've given. Now this is basically the marks, correct? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to say marks dot, I am doing sort with a anonymous function. Again, if you know what is anonymous function, you must be knowing about it because I've already explained to you. I'm using here a comma b, and I'm going to put here return a minus b. Okay. I have to also write an HTML code for this. So I'll go to HTML and I'll mention here button. To this button, I will write on click and I'll just execute that particular code. What was the function? 1 second. Let's say the function name is my function. Okay, and here I'm going to write click me. This is the function. Here also I will put it inside a function only. Typing screen is not showing. Oh, 1 second. Wait. One second, guys. What about now? Okay, there is some problem. 1 second, I'm opening Visual Studio Code again. Now can you see it? Okay, cool. Fine. So let me close this. I hope it's visible. Okay. So we have here let marks. What I was doing, marks dot sort function. Here I'm going to write one function. The name of the function I've given it as my function. I'll bring all these things inside it. So function is my function, and all these things are written inside this part. After return a minus b, so I'm going to print document.getIn by id demo. Here I'm going to close this. Above, I think I've written the buttons. Let me comment this part so that there will be no confusion. Button on click. Let's see what is happening here. Okay, I'm not going to save this. Just going back, saving it. 1 second. Okay. Think I need to run it again. Okay, so I'm getting click me. 1 second. Again, click me is not working. There is something wrong. Name is not defined at my function. My function, something is wrong there. Function, my function. Let me show you the code. Please find what is wrong here. On click. Marks dot sort. Okay, here is the problem. Let's save this. Let me check. Okay, cool. So I'll save this again. I'll go back to my browser, and here you can see there's no error now. I just wrote names there. I did change the variable name. So I have marks now. You can see here there's a click me button, and what I've written in the program, I have written that if somebody clicks here, then it's going to the my function. It will execute that. In my function, what I've done, marks dot sort, and inside that sort I've written a minus b. Why I've written that? Because it's gonna compare and then it's gonna give me the marks. So if I go to my browser, if I click here, you can see these all numbers are sorted, right? So what is happening here? Basically, by subtracting, it's understanding that okay, which particular number is gonna come first. Okay, that's how it's gonna work with numbers. Let's say what I'm doing here is I'm going to uncomment this, comment this, and here I'm just going to write marks dot sort. This is how I did it in my string part, right? So let's understand what's going to happen. If I do this, there will be the button, right? Button won't work because basically what I've done is I've commented the function. Right now, I'm not clicking the button because any which ways it won't do anything. But here you can see it has not sorted this, right? So with numbers, it is not working. Okay, the array is there, but array with the string, the sort is working, but with numbers, it's not sorting it, correct? So how do you sort it? That's the another way. That's the another way around, which I've written here. Okay, so this is the another way how you can do it. So you have to create an anonymous function inside a function. You have to write a minus b. What is a minus b? Basically, when you subtract two numbers, you get to know the difference, right? And then you can arrange it in a sorting manner. So that's how this is working. Okay, cool. Let's move ahead and let's see what's next. So suppose if you want to bring it in a descending order, what you can do, you have to just swap this to just write b minus a. And if I show you my browser, save this, click me, it's now in descending order. Fine. So this is how you will work with numbers if you have numbers in your array. Fine. Let's go back to the code, and that's all about our sorting. Fine. And let's see if I have something else. Okay, the other things are not necessary right now. So yeah, this much it. So this was all about the array methods. I hope you have understood what are these things. The same way we have understood the strings also. Pop, push, shift, unshift, splice, slice, concat, and sort. All of these things we have understood here. In string also we have understood some of the methods. So this extra sessions were there. String and array methods were the extra sessions because you guys told me that methods were not completed in the previous session. That's why we took this. Now what we are going to do is the next session is at 8 p.m. Sorry, no, not 8 p.m. 2 p.m. Right, correct? 1 second, let me check. Yes, 2 p.m. 2 p.m. I'm going to come back and we are going to understand mixed projects. So we are going to do projects on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all three, some beginner level projects. And we are going to understand how to do that because many of the beginners have problems on those codes as well. They're understanding HTML and CSS part, but they're not understanding how JavaScript works. Like something in calculator, how to give commands to button, or in to-do list, how to create the to-do list, how we can click the list and it gets removed. Those things are not getting understood by the freshers. So we are going to, I'm going to write the code. I'm going to make it simple for you so that you understand every and each code. See, there are a lot of versions of those codes available in internet, okay? But some of the codes are really very hard. I have written some codes which are really very easy to understand, and the interviewer, when asked that, hey, can you please write a to-do list program in front of me, then you don't have to write the hard code. You have to make it much more easier so that the 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 interviewer will not take much time. He won't be sitting around for 30 minutes, right? He'll be there only for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and in 5 to 10 minutes you have to write the whole program. So how you can make it fast, that kind of program I have designed, and I'll come back. So please do join at 2 p.m. so that you can understand what are the mixed projects we will see and how to work with that. Fine. And that is the first part. Again at 3:15 we will have another mixed project part where we will do some more projects. Fine. So that's all about today's session. I'll meet you again at 2 p.m. and 3:15 p.m. and we'll understand mixed projects. Fine. So please do join the Telegram channel, which is the link is given in the description below. Please click on it and join the Telegram channel if you have not done it, because there you will be getting all the notifications about the live session when we are coming live, and what and which particular lesson is going on. The next thing is, please hit subscribe button in for the CodeBeyond channel. As you can see, we are increasing rapidly. So you want more audience, we want more people to know about us so that they can get the free content as well. Please hit the notification bell as well so that you get notifications in your YouTube app as well. Please like and share so that you get people will come here, and because you are sharing. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, guys. I'll meet you really soon. I'll meet you exactly at 2 p.m. So have your lunch and come back soon at 2 p.m. We are going to do some projects. Fine. If you have any doubts, please do let me know. I'll be there here for 1 more minute. Okay. Bye bye, guys. Take